remember the next time you see this message on your Windows 10 PC that this suggestion may help.
Yeah, it's been an exciting time trying to get this thing to work. And I've got another workaround that is working about, I don't know, maybe 30% of the time when you get this screen. It doesn't tell you a whole heck of a lot. But by changing the system configuration files, I can get this restart time down back to normal, where it's like 2 or 3 minutes or less to start up instead of 2 to 3 hours. The longest one so far to restart this has been 3.5 hours. So we'll carry on with this. Stay tuned. So here we go at our system config. You just need to go down. This is Windows 10. You just need to go down into the search file in the bottom of the screen is where I have my task window set up. And select MS config. And it'll bring you to this window. Here's typically what you get. You get a startup selection. Normal startup, diagnostic startup, and this selective startup, which apparently is a default. Because no matter what I do and how many times I say apply and make changes, every time I relook at this after I started the computer or close this window down, I get this. This is always checked. This is load startups. So what I found most helpful is I unclick this load startup item. Hit apply. Then hit OK. And if I have to restart the computer, it seems to help start it faster so I don't get stuck into that loop. But now what I'm going to do is we're going to talk about what is in my startup. And so we're going to go over to our startups, and it's going to use Task Manager as a default to take a look at this stuff. So we'll do that and we'll come right back and we'll let you see. So here we are over at Task Manager, and we're looking at the startups. Here are the name of the startups, publisher, and the status. I've disabled 2 of these startups. There's a total of 8, so I've disabled 2. I've disabled this top one, which is Logitech Download Assistant and iTunes Helper. Those appear to are not detrimental to the function of the computer. So those are the ones that I use. Then from here, I go back, I close this window, and I go back to Systems, Config Syst. So here we go. So now we're back to Config Syst, and we're going to go to General, and that's good. It's not checked. And now we're ready to click OK. And then hopefully the next time I have to do a restart, or I turn the computer off, power it off for the day, and then power it back on, it'll come back at a normal startup speed. Seems to work. There's a lot of variables going on, but this seems to work, and every rest of the computer is working great. Cameras, microphones, programs, applications, internet, antivirus programs, malware bytes programs. My security camera feeds, they all work great. It's just something that happened when I did a recovery back to an earlier date for the system, which is 5 days ago. The computer had a psychotic break and decided it's going to take 2 to 3 hours now to start up every time I do a restart. And that can be very irritating. Okay, well, this is what works for me. It's not 100%, but it's better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick.